I would not withdraw from the World Trade Organization. 50% of the income in the world, 25% of the income in the United States comes from foreign trade. But what I would do is suggest that we need a different viewpoint of trade and how we approach it. For both NAFTA and CAFTA, we've got a number of changes that I think need to be made, particularly to chapters 9 and 11, which allow foreign interests to come in with literally actions against governmental regulations in our own country. And they don't go to our courts. They go to a quasi-court set up pursuant to NAFTA and CAFTA. That's one thing I would change so that that can't be done. They're affecting environmental laws in our own nation. Secondly, I believe that trade agreements should incorporate in them environmental and labor requirements. Today, those requirements are by side agreement. There's no enforcement mechanism for them when you deal with many of these countries. They say, we tried, but it didn't work. For example, steel. If we're going to have steel made in China, which is fine, why can't China comply with the same environmental regulations that steel manufacturers in this country have to comply with? If we have the same environmental standards, we're all in the same world. China, if it hasn't overtaken us today, it's going to be tomorrow or next week in greenhouse emissions. So they ought to comply with the same regulations that our manufacturers have to. The same with labor. I mean, you cannot tell them what they're going to have to pay, but certain labor requirements can be put into the trade agreements. And what I have said all along is that we need a seat at the table, not standing outside protesting.